So what do we know about the OnePlus 6T? Let's find out. So the OnePlus 6 was released in May this year. And as per OnePlus's routine, they released the T series later that same year. The OnePlus 6T's got no official release date yet. As it stands, it could be released at the end of October, maybe the beginning of November. There is chatter on the internet that it could be released anytime as late as January 2019. I personally don't believe that's true. I think they'll stick to the similar schedule that they've had previous, and it'll just be, end of October, beginning of November. It may be a little bit earlier, it may be a little bit later. The differences is obviously in the UK, for example, OnePlus is now in association with, O2, a mobile phone network. So what do we know about the OnePlus 6T? Well, everything that we know is speculation, but it comes from quite reliable sources. If we take a look at an image that I will just put up just here, there is supposedly a box that represents, the retail packaging of the OnePlus 6T, and inside there is a diagram of this said phone. It seems to be pretty much like the Oppo R17, which would make sense because OnePlus and Oppo have the same parent company. And if you look at previous OnePlus and Oppo phones, they share very similar features and specifications. So it would make sense that the OnePlus does follow in the Oppo's footsteps in some respects. So if you take a look at the top of the image, you will see that they've lost the big chunky notch and they've gone for a teardrop notch, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It looks so much better than the big chunky rectangle that's there. I'm not a huge fan of the notch. I don't really have anything against it. I just don't like it when they're too big. I personally think that in the future, bezel-less phones will be the norm and we won't have need for a notch. I reckon things like even front-facing cameras will be built in under the screen, but that is something for later on. And if we take a look at the bottom, you can see a fingerprint, a possible fingerprint in-screen scanner. Whether it'll actually come with it is another story. You always get these image releases, but you don't know exactly where they've come from, if they've been doctored, if it's just been created by anybody else, you just don't know. But if it did come with an in-screen fingerprint reader, fantastic. If it didn't, it wouldn't be a deal breaker. The ones that you get on the back of the phone are perfectly fast and they're perfectly fine. And the ones that you currently get on phones that do have the in-screen reader are just fractionally slower and they're not as secure as what they could be or as the other ones that you have on the back of the or at the bottom of the phone. So again, possibly, but it's not a deal breaker if it doesn't. So no word on wireless charging at the moment. It may come with it, it may not. Again, it's not a deal breaker. OnePlus offer like the fastest dash charge at the moment, and to be honest, if a phone can get you through most of the day, or well, the whole day, and still have 15 to 20% battery life, you don't need wireless charging. Yes, it would be nice if you just had it and you just wanted to go to bed at night and just put your phone down. The only problem is if you ever pick it up and you don't put it down properly, or you put it down slightly off center, it may not charge. Obviously with the dash charge, you can just plug it in, 30 to 45 minutes later, boom, you're ready to go for the day. But again, OnePlus say they would like to listen to their consumers, and a lot of people have been asking for wireless charging, but it is another expense. And one of the reasons why OnePlus is so affordable is because they just keep to the more essential tech, the stuff that really matters. And wireless charging, as nice as it would be, is not that essential. So yeah, we'll just wait and see what happens with that one. So with regards to processing power, so here there's again another image release of two possible processor variants of the OnePlus 6T. Currently they run the Snapdragon 845 processor, which is the standard for all phones at the moment, but it seems that there might be an 855 variant. If that was to happen, fantastic. It'd make a already fast and smooth phone faster and smoother. But again, we'll have to see. I imagine it's still going to come with the 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, and probably still go for the 64 to 256 gigabytes of memory. So another possible upgrade to the OnePlus 6T may be the camera. As it stands at the moment, the OnePlus 6 has 2 lenses on the back. But again, it has just been hinted that the OnePlus 6T may have 3 lenses at the back, the third one being a telephoto lens for these more smoother, long distance shots. It seems at the moment that most, well-to-do mobile manufacturers are all pretty level on processors and specifications, and it's really the camera that they're trying to push for consumers now, because not all cameras are created equal. Some are better than the others, but for the average person, most cameras will work perfectly fine. So now it's just introducing a different dimension to taking pictures. But again, we'll just have to see what happens. So with regards to price, again, it's just speculation, but it is believed that the OnePlus 6T may be around the $550 mark. It would be nice at $550. Anything sub $600 would be fantastic. Obviously at $519 for the current one, obviously $469 for the basic, $519, and obviously it's a little more for the 256. So if we use $519 as a base, in comparison to the last OnePlus 6. So if we look at the OnePlus 6T, if we go for a 8 gigabyte 128 memory, then if around 150 would be fantastic. Obviously, don't forget, if it does have the extra lens for the camera, if it does have an in-screen fingerprint reader, if it does have wireless charging, these are all fantastic things, but they do cost money. They do cost money to make, to develop, and these things don't come free. So we'll have to see what happens with the price, but I'm hoping for $550, definitely sub 600, for it to be competitive on the market. It has to be. This is what OnePlus is known for, but again, we'll have to see. So if you like what you've seen here today, don't forget to like and subscribe at the bottom. If you've got any comments, please leave them below. I'll be with you again shortly with another video. Don't forget to check out my other playlist. I do a diary because I'm slowly creating a studio, and those of you have seen, we've seen where I started from, and in a short time I've made a few changes, and I will go through that with you on the diary playlist. But again, thank you for your time.